Hello everyone, welcome to the course of Survey of Major English-Speaking Countries. Today, we're going to learn Chapter 3, The Government of Great Britain. This lecture is about Lesson B, the Monarchy in Great Britain. The earliest institution of government is the monarchy, which is ruled by the king. This dates back to the Saxons who ruled from the 5th century AD until the Norman conquests in 1066. Britain is arguably the earliest representative democracy in the world, with roots that can be traced over 1,000 years. Other countries also have long political histories, but these histories are marked by periods of sudden and often violent changes. Although Britain, too, has had its periods of political instability. In contrast to, say, France or the United States, the process of state building has become one of evolution rather than revolution. This long, unbroken history is still apparent in Britain's current political institutions and in its political cultures. The present Queen, Elizabeth II, is directly descended from King Egbert, who united England under his rule in 829 AD. The power of the monarchy was largely derived from the ancient doctrine of the divine right of the kings. It was held that the sovereign derived his authority from God, not from his subjects. Because of his divine right, although there were sometimes battles between different families who insisted they were the legitimate heir to the throne, the actual existence of the monarchy has seldom been questioned. For 1,000 years, Britain has had a hereditary king or queen as the head of the state, although there was one brief exception, which we will explain in the section of the Glorious Revolution. The role of the monarchy today is primarily to symbolize the tradition and unity of the British state. Obviously, the Prime Minister and the governing party at any given time will only represent the part of the population that voted in their favor. The Queen, however, because she is non-political, belongs to everybody. Under the terms of the Constitution, her other roles are as follows. She serves as head of the state, as well as the power of appointment of officials. She is legally the head of the executive, an integral part of the legislature, head of the judiciary, commander-in-chief of the armed force, and the supreme governor of the Church of England. Now, I'm going to introduce the present Queen of Great Britain, Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II was born on April 21st, 1926, in London, to Prince Albert, Duke of York, later known as King George VI. She became queen when her father died in 1952. Since the September 9th, 2015, Elizabeth II has ruled longer than any other king or queen in the history of the United Kingdom. She has also ruled longer than any other living king or queen in the world. When Elizabeth, the elder daughter of Prince Albert, Duke of York, was born, she apparently had a little chance of inheriting the throne, as her father was a younger son of king. But in late 1936, her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated to marry an American divorcee, Wallis Simpson. As a result, her father became King George VI, and the 10-year-old Elizabeth became the heir presumptive to the throne. Though she spent much of her childhood with nannies, Princess Elizabeth was influenced greatly by her mother, who instilled in her a devout Christian faith as well as a keen understanding of the demands of royal life. Since 1947, the Queen has been married to Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Prince Philip was born into the royal families of Greece and Denmark. Just before they were married, she became a citizen of the United Kingdom and changed his name to Philip Mountbatten. He became the Duke of Edinburgh on the day he married. The countries of which she is queen are known as the Commonwealth realms. Their total population is over 129 million. Although Elizabeth II is the queen of each country separately, all are independent countries. Elizabeth II lives and spends most of her time in the United Kingdom. In all the other countries where she is queen, a person is chosen to represent her. This person may be known as the Governor General. Elizabeth II has few political powers and is not a ruler in the usual sense. She is queen and interested in the running of her countries, but she doesn't tell the government what to do. She has regular meetings with the people from her governments, but it is they who run the countries. She performs ceremonies for the governments, gives out honors, and visits and supports many charities. As a constitutional monarch, Elizabeth does not express her personal political opinions publicly. She has maintained this discipline throughout her reign, doing little in public to reveal what they might be, and so her political views are not known. A less well-known role of the Queen, which is nevertheless very important to Britain politics, is that of the confidant to the Prime Minister. Every Tuesday, the Prime Minister attends the Queen privately at Buckingham Palace. In her over 60 years on the throne, the Queen has had weekly chats with more than a dozen of different prime ministers. And they have said that her long experience and her political neutrality make her a good source of informed observation on the day-to-day problems of governance. Interestingly, it is said that the Queen gets on much better with Labour prime ministers than with the Conservative prime ministers. Despite a succession of controversy surrounding the rest of the royal family, particularly throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Queen Elizabeth remains a remarkably uncontroversial and widely respected figure. The Golden Jubilee of 2002 marked the 50th anniversary of the Queen's accession in 1952. The Queen celebrated her 80th birthday on 21st April 2006, when she became the third eldest reigning monarch in British and Commonwealth history. Despite being in excellent health, she has started to hand over some public duties to her children, as well as to other members of the royal family. However, her popularity among British people has remained extremely high, largely thanks to her dedication to charitable causes as patron of more than 600 charities and other organizations. Her reign is not without opposition from some quarters. But polls conducted in Britain in 2006 and 2007 revealed strong support for her. When asked about if and when the Queen should retire, 64% stated that she should never retire. Always a popular figure in the UK, not to mention other countries. The Queen has almost always had an excellent approval rating in opinion poll, currently over 80%, and often significantly higher than that of her elected prime ministers. Most British people thought that the Queen's most important job was to represent Britain at home and abroad. Her second most important job was to set a standard of good citizenship and family life. In 2016, Her Majesty celebrated her 90th birthday, an age at which most people would have been retired for many years. And although she and Prince Philip will be handing some of their responsibilities onto younger members of the royal family, she's still very much a ruling monarch. At the center of it all is the Queen herself, who celebrated her own 90th birthday in 2016, but shows few signs of slowing down. She continues to follow much of the same schedule as she has for the entire of her reign, including official work, public appearances, and plenty of time outside with her beloved dogs and horses. Though rumors have swirled at various times that Queen Elizabeth would step aside and let Prince Charles take the throne, in 2017, she delegated some of her royal obligations, such as the official Remembrance Day ceremony, to her eldest son, fueling speculation that she was preparing to give him the throne. Many royal experts doubt she will ever abdicate, and she remains a constant, stable presence as the head of the Britain's reigning family.